Yo fam, it's me, Sasha Denbry, and welcome to episode 7. Yes, that's right, 7 of, what's my show called? Oh yeah, you call that targeting? My gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot my name of my own podcast. Thank you for joining in on episode 7 here of You Call That Targeting. I'm Sasha Denbry. To be honest, I'm going to try to recap a little bit of what happened this last week. But to be honest, it was trash football. I didn't watch much of it because I was watching the Braves in the playoffs. And there just wasn't a matchup that just really intrigued me. And so I'm going to try to look through some of these scores. So Friday, Coastal Carolina gets upset. I liked Coastal Carolina. I thought they were going to be one of those teams that run the table and go undefeated. But trash. They lost to Appalachian State. Let's see. I'm scrolling through here. What's some other stuff? Cincinnati, number 2 Cincinnati, struggled with Navy. 27-20 was that final score. Michigan looked good. Oklahoma still looks like trash, even without Spencer Rattler. Who knows where that guy's going to end up? He's nothing but pure trash. Oregon squeaked by a close one, 34-31 to UCLA. Clemson lost again, which is just crazy that Clemson is 4-3 at this point. Crazy stuff. But anyways, we're gonna get into the 2 games that I picked on the last episode. So San Diego State Air Force, I picked Air Force to upset them. That didn't happen. What a piece of trash. They lost 20-14. And then I picked Army to upset Wake Forest. And I said Army was going to rush for 600 yards. Well, that didn't happen. They rushed for like 400 and something, I think. But they lost 70-56. And no, that's not a basketball score. That is a football score, which is just unreal. So it was a crazy back and forth game. My gosh, these allergies are still kicking my absolute tush. Last week I was stuffed up. This week I'm stuffed up and coughing like garbage. So you're just gonna have to bear with me. So let's give away some awards. Alright, so my team of the week is the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, my gosh. They're actually undefeated. They beat Northwestern 33-7. Northwestern is one of those teams that are kind of a trap team. And Michigan handled their absolute business. I'm pretty pumped to see Michigan actually playing good football. Will it last? I don't know. We're going to talk about that later. But now it's time to get into some of my trash teams of the week. I could have had a few on here, including Coastal Carolina for losing. And there was a few more upsets that I could have put on here, but one trash team that we're going to start out with is Oklahoma State. Number 8 in the nation, and they lose to Iowa State 24-21. What absolute trash. And my second team is Purdue. Purdue finally gets in the top 25. They're ranked 25th. They play Wisconsin, lose 30-13. Not even close. I mean, Purdue, you're nothing but trash. I mean, if you're going to be ranked, play like a daggum ranked team. Anyways, we're going to move on to my absolute trash team of the week. My absolute trash team of the week goes to the Penn State Nittany Lions. My gosh, I mean, just a few weeks ago, they were my team of the week. When they beat Auburn in the whiteout game, I thought they looked unstoppable, right? And then they go and lose to Iowa, but at the time, Iowa looked good. So, I mean, you're like thinking, well, Penn State's still in this thing. No, they lose to Illinois 20-18, and get this, 9 overtimes. 9 overtimes. My gosh, nobody could finish this game. I mean, my gosh, nobody's got time to watch 9 overtimes. Trash game, trash team. Congratulations, Penn State, you're trash. Anyways, we're going to move on to the second part of this podcast, and where we're going to get into some questions. And we're going to get into the game of the week and my upset pick of next week. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, my name's Dennis Fricks, and I'm the pastor at New Generation Baptist Church. And yes, I was the sponsor last week. But this week, I want to invite you to my church again, where the Spirit is moving like it's never had before. And that's the thanks to Sasha Denbright and the powerful message that he preached last week. And if you missed that, I'm very sad that you missed it. But we're going to give you a few highlights right now. I hope you enjoy.
If you're sitting here today and you're thinking you're trash, well, guess what? You're absolute trash if you don't have Jesus. Does anybody remember Peter? He denied Jesus 3 times. What an absolute piece of trash. But Jesus still used him after his trash move that he did. Jonah was like, psh, I ain't going there. What a piece of trash. God had to take a giant fish and swallow the man up just to get him to do something. Don't be garbage like that. Sodom and Gomorrah, trash. And if you think otherwise, you're trash. Paul, before he met Jesus, he was Saul. Nothing but straight garbage. You don't know how it feels to have you and your brother left in a toilet factory when your parents didn't care about you, but I can tell you this right now, that Jesus does care. He does. And even if your parents are straight fired trash, he cares, right? And if you have trash grandparents like I do, guess what? You still have Jesus. I'm so sick of those people that say, follow your heart. That's nothing but pure garbage filth. They need to understand that your heart is evil. And the people say that, oh, well, God knows my heart. Well, trash. That should make you freak out if God knows your heart, because your heart is nothing but garbage. I see 2 kids on this front row talking to one another. I need your eyes up here looking at me. The woman at the well, psh, straight garbage before she met Jesus. Judas, my gosh, what a piece of trash. You know, he was sitting in the Last Supper, and Jesus like, man, one of y'all are going to turn your back on me. And y'all are going to trade me in for some money. Could you imagine trading Jesus for money? What an absolute loser. Yeah, I just read a verse out of the English Standard Version. You got a problem with it? I know some people do. Get a life! Is everybody familiar with that hymn song that says, I got a mansion, blah, blah, blah? I mean, it says in that song, I want a mansion, a heart, and a crown. My gosh, are you going to demand any more? Just be glad you made it through the pearly gates with that trash attitude. And then another one. Give me that old-time religion. Last time I checked, religion is garbage. If the 3 wise men were so wise, why did they bring trash gifts? My goodness, bring the kid a toy. Just remember, you're always going to be straight garbage until you make that decision to turn from your wicked sin, or you're going to burn in hell. Thank you, New Generation Baptist Church, for having me. I had such a great time. To those 2 young kids on the front row, I was going to slap the mess out of you, and then the Holy Ghost got up on me and said, look, you don't do that to those kids. You just teach them the word, and they will listen, and they will follow, and they did. And I feel like I made an impact on their lives, so thank you to New Generation Baptist Church. So we are going to get to some questions. First question is from Sexy Barb. Thoughts on tofu and vegetarians? Go green. Hashtag save the planet. Well, my thoughts on tofu is I'd rather eat the fungus in between my toenails than tofu. Absolute trash. Vegetarians, you're missing out. I mean, I love ribs. I love steak. I love chicken. And all that is so much better than your vegetarian crap. I'm telling you, you're missing out. You're nothing but trash is what you are. And I don't care. You know, people say, oh, well, let people do what they want to do. Well, here she is trying to push it on me. Hashtag save the planet. The only way we're going to save the planet is if you're not on it. Next question. Hayden Christensen. If you could replace Florida's coach with any current coach besides Saban, who would it be? Well, you kind of messed up the question when you said besides Saban, because it would be Nick Saban. And as of right now, to tell you the truth, I don't know. I think the main thing Florida needs to do is fire that trash defensive coordinator. My gosh, he is the worst. I mean, I think if they had a good defense with Dan Mullen's offense, I think they'd be all right. But whatever. Can't change it now. Next question is from Booty Crevice Jenkins III. It says, didn't you used to date a girl named Shayna? She's my niece. Seems like I remember someone setting you up to call her and not telling you how she looked. Well, I'm going to tell you how this went, Booty Crevice Jenkins III. What happened is my cousin said, look, you need to talk to this girl. She's really nice. And this is back when you used to talk to people on the phone instead of, like Snapchat or whatever kids do nowadays. You used to talk to them. And you had to wait till after 9 o'clock so your minutes were free. And so I remember I called this girl, it was after 9. And man, she was so cool and so nice. And she sounded smoking hot. And I was like, man, this might really work out. Well, then later on, I got a picture of her. And my gosh. I mean, it looked like, let me think here. It looked like a Sasquatch and a Sasquatch and maybe a possessed nun had a baby. And that baby grew up to be about 6'4", 340. And that's how she looked. And to be honest, she was not my style. And I was pretty mad at my cousin for setting me up with trash. And but now it's okay. I got Tig's mom, and all is well. And Tig's mom meets every criteria of a beautiful woman. So, thank you, Booty Crevice Jenkins III. Next question. Ah, crap. Tig Nation. I was at your youth service last Sunday night, you piece of garbage. It was the worst sermon I've ever heard delivered. You can't just call these kids absolute trash and expect them to respond positively. Just remember, I know where you sleep. I'm getting tired of your mouth. I don't even care anymore if it breaks Mama's heart. Die 1,000 deaths and push up daisies. Never mind. Daisies would be too heavy for you, you absolute weakling. My gosh. I mean, coming at me hard, bro. I mean, what did I do to you? I'm trying to teach those kids about Jesus, and you're saying it, and you're saying, well, hold on, what'd you say? Oh, you said, just call these kids absolute trash and expect them to respond positively. So you're telling me to be nice to these kids so they can respond positively. And you're saying to me to die 1,000 deaths and push up daisies. That's garbage. I mean, you talk about a heap of daggum crit. My gosh. And I'm not a weakling. Ask your mom. When I carried her over the threshold after we got married, trust me, I wasn't struggling. Psh, gosh. Next question. Brent Sewell. I like old Brent. You know, me and him had a personal conversation. Maybe this question will get personal again, Brent. I like getting personal with you. Man, that sounded wrong. Do you think this is the year Trash Michigan makes the playoffs? I love the way you use trash right there. And fun fact, Sasha, every year the Braves have went to the World Series, Florida beat Georgia. Let's go Gators. Psh. Yes. I didn't know that. But it makes sense because, Georgia, anybody in Georgia can't have too much good going on at the same time. So if the Braves are in the World Series, you're not going to have Georgia be good. You're probably not going to have your Atlanta Hawks be good. It's only one team at a time. The Falcons probably trash if the Braves win the World Series. So I guess I get that. And for your question, do you think this is a year Michigan makes the playoff? I want to say yes because I like what I've seen so far. But here's the deal: they still got to play Ohio State, and Jim Harbaugh has not proven. I mean, let me get my English right. That he can beat Ohio State. And And so I'm not going to say that they're a walk into the playoff, because they'll end up losing to somebody that they shouldn't. Or Ohio State. I mean, that's understandable. Now the question is, if Michigan's undefeated when they play Ohio State and they lose a close game to a one-loss Ohio State, and then you got Ohio State and Michigan both with one loss, do they still make it? I don't know. It depends, I guess, what Alabama does and all that stuff. But to be honest, I hope they make it, because Michigan, they've been trash for a while. So, good question, Brent. Next question. Harry Hedges. Out of the non-Power 5 undefeated schools, who has the best chance of going undefeated? Well, I guess Cincinnati. I know they struggle with Navy, but I think they have the best chance to go undefeated. Will they make the playoffs? I don't know. I hope they do. I would love to see a team like Cincinnati make the playoffs, but every time I get my hopes up, a team like that will lose. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to just lay an absolute freaking turd. Anyways, we got one more question. Well, we got two more questions. One question is from Sasquatch himself. First of all, I am as real as the hair on a butt crack. Sasquatch, you're not real. I mean, you're believing a lie. I can't even spit out the words of how trash can you be that you think you're real. If you're real, show yourself to me tonight. Come through my bedroom door, and then I'll show you what a sub 2000 is. Alright, and I'll put 3 9mm right in your head. And then I'll hang your head above my fireplace if I had one. I don't even have a fireplace, but if I did, I'd hang it there. I got an electric heater in the wall. I'll hang it above that. But get down here and show me that you're real. I don't believe it. Hair on a butt crack. I got a hairy butt crack, but has nothing to do with Sasquatches. Alright. And then I get a late question, of course, from Adam Sewell. He can never be on time. He's a construction worker. That's what they do. And speaking of that, I had a construction worker come look at the floor of my house today. He said he was going to be here at 9:30, and he showed up about 2. So that's exactly how Adam Sewell is, and all construction workers. They're nothing but pure trash. Anyways, next question is from Adam Sewell. Is Lane Kiffin going to move to LSU, or should he? I haven't really looked into the rumors a lot. I know a lot of names have been thrown around for LSU. My thing is, I think he'd be crazy to go. I mean, is LSU that much better of a program for him to recruit at? He's already got some of his recruits at Ole Miss. Like, to me, you're having to, start over. And I think he's doing a good thing at Ole Miss. And they're in the SEC West. So you're not changing up anything that much. So, I wouldn't do it. But Lane Kiffin's an idiot. I mean, he has proven over and over again that he's an absolute moron. So, he could leave and go coach Florida Atlantic again, for all I know. I don't know what Lane Kiffin's going to do. All I know is he's probably going to get hit by more golf balls this year. Trash SEC fans. Anyways, that's all the questions we got. Let's move on to my game of the week. And this is a big one. Number 6 Michigan at Michigan State. Number 8 Michigan State. My gosh. Well, finally some good football. There's a couple of good games this week, but this is my game of the week. This is going to show if Michigan's for real. I think if they make it past Michigan State, I think they are undefeated when they play Ohio State. Will they beat them? I don't know. But that's going to be a great game, and I'm going to pick Michigan to win that game because I want to see it. I want to see them stay undefeated. And my upset pick for this week, I got Florida over number 1 Georgia. I think they can move the ball against Georgia's defense better than anybody. I think Dan Mullins, I think he's a great play caller. I think he can get it done. And I think if their defense can force a couple of turnovers, hey, I think it can happen. And like old Brent Sewell said, Atlanta Braves are in the World Series, and every time that happens, Florida beats Georgia. So I'm going with the Gators. Chomp, chomp, baby. I got them beating the number 1 team in the nation. Thank you for tuning in. I can't wait to see what happens this week. We'll see you next week. Share this with your friends.